Hey, what's going on, Wildcats? It's Coach Carter. Today is Thursday. I think if I see my watch correctly, it says the 19th. Thursday the 19th. Hope that you've had a great week so far. And we're at the last of our three-part series. If you remember, we talked about why are you here, where are you going, and today we're going to talk about how you're going to get there. So if you remember part one, why you're here, we just simply talked about how you win the lottery every day that you show up. You're learning a lot more than just about test scores and about grades on papers. You're learning social skills. You're learning life lessons that's going to prepare you for down the road. Day two is where you're going. We talked about having a plan. We talked about my high school teacher having the list of 10 things and how that's kind of been my roadmap and my guide. And today we're going to talk about how you're going to get there. Because now that you got a plan, you got to follow it. And so I went to Clemson University, and after Clemson, I took a little time off, but I went back and I got my master's degree because I wanted to be a public school administrator. And when I was at Clemson, the highlight of that experience is I had a professor whose name was Don Fewer. And I took every class that he taught. He was just an unbelievable man, full of energy, enthusiasm, but most importantly, even as I guess I was 30, even as a 30-year-old, every day when I walked into his class, he made me feel important and he made me feel like he cared about him. And so he really impacted me and my coaching, teaching career. But Mr. Fewer's favorite saying was, he would always ask us, who's driving the bus? And he would kind of, as a big, tall man, and he'd kind of get right down in your face and he'd say, hey, Chris, who's driving the bus? And what he meant by that was, it was his way of telling me that I'm responsible for me. You know, I've always kind of been fascinated with school buses and school bus drivers. It's amazing to me the hundreds of thousands of kids every day that are brought to a public school, grades K through 12, on the big yellow cheese comes rolling in, and those bus drivers, man, they're pretty special. You know, who would ever sign up for a job where you're driving a 3-ton bomb with a bunch of snot-nosed kids, and your back's turned to them? So, bus drivers, we thank you for what you do. Without you, our schools wouldn't be able to operate. But he would always ask us, who's driving the bus? And you see, there's two types of people on the bus. There's the driver of the bus, and there's a passenger of the bus. And as a passenger of the bus, think about this now. As the passenger, what are you in control of? As a passenger on the bus, you're really just truly along for the ride. Some of you guys are riding on a bus right now, and where the destination for that bus, where it's going to end up, it's going to be a bad place. But you can change that today. Because see, as a passenger, you don't control anything. You don't control who gets on the bus. You don't control where the bus goes. You don't control when the bus leaves. You don't control how fast it goes. You don't control the air conditioning. You simply get on that bus and you put faith in that bus driver to get you there safely. And, you know, you don't even get to pick your seat when you're the passenger on the bus. Think about that. Remember? Seats taken. Did you watch Forrest Gump? My favorite movie. Seats taken. You don't even get to choose your seat. So, but if you think about the other type of person on the bus, there's the driver. And as the driver of the bus, what are you in charge of? What are you in control of? You're in control of just about everything. Just about everything. You control when you stop, when you leave, who you pick up, where you're going, how fast you travel. Everything is under your control and at an arm's length away. And so I hope that you understand. Be the driver on your bus. Don't be the passenger. Some of y'all are influenced so much by your friends. You're on the bus with them and you have no idea where it's going. And eventually you're going to blink your fingers and 5, 10 years are going to go away and you're still going to be living at home with mama. Now you got a plan. Now go follow it. And not only do you follow it, you pursue it. Because I promise you, before you know it, you'll be 25 years old and looking back going, man, where did the last 10 years go or 8 years go? So, Mr. Feuer, he was awesome. And so I encourage you today, there's never a bad time to start doing the right thing. Don't be an ironing board. The only difference between an ironing board and a surfboard becomes an ironing board because it stops chasing its dreams. Don't be an ironing board. Who's driving the bus? I love you, Wildcats. Have a great Thursday, and I hope to see you today soon. The best is yet to come.